Anybody here? Trying to figure this out. Sorry. There you are. Dude, it's seriously just us. I can't hear you. Hang on. Did I mute you? Hold on.
No, I think it's because nobody can get on. Erin Fetzer just messaged me that she was having the same message.
Okay, and I've used the same link 4 times in a row, and it just now let you get on.
There she is.
There she is. Hey, Erin.
I don't know what's going on.
That was weird. I thought it was for sure me, so I started it over, and then I started it over 2 more times, and no one was getting on. And then I was like, I quit.
Yeah, I was like, what is going on? That message that you sent me is what it said. It says that you were already having a meeting.
By myself. I was by myself, and I was like, oh man, this stinks. I don't want to teach myself what I already wrote down like 3 times. Yeah. I have coffee by myself all the time. I'm supposed to have coffee. Look at my cute little mug. Hi, Erin.
Hi.
Good morning.
Good morning.
You okay?
My allergies are killing me today. I didn't sleep most of the night, so I'm off work today. See the bags.
Yeah. That's what Silas and the boys left, or the younger 2 left for the Texas Tech send-off this morning at 7 o'clock. Or no, it was like 6:30. The send-off was at 7 at campus. And so when I got up, I was like, Jacob's still here? I need to take him to school. And he didn't go because he's sick too. So that's what I was trying to get him a doctor's note and, get the school notified and all that this morning. So there's a bunch of viruses going around. That's what the doctor said. Mm-hmm. So I'm glad you're home resting, Erin. Okay.
I'm hoping mine is just the allergies and nothing more.
I hope so too. I think with all this rain and weather we've had, cold.
It's 80%
winter that doesn't want to die.
Yes. Yes. I'm like, go away. Bring on spring. All my devotionals are about how spring is coming, and I'm like, looking for it.
Yeah. It's 80% chance of rain here today.
80?
80. It's supposed to start at noon. And I told the kids, y'all might be getting off the bus in the rain, so just be ready to run to my truck.
Yeah. No kidding. You'll get a ton of rain down there. We get very little.
Yeah.
We get so little rain that when it hails, everybody's like, yay! Because it's moisture. Hi, April. Oh, is that Miles or Wallace? I need to make you bigger.
How do I unmute myself?
Oh,
can you hear
me? Yes.
This is Wallace.
Hi, Wallace. Oh, baby, I miss those days. So sweet. Hi, Becca. Cool. Okay, I feel like y'all could probably teach this better than me, but we can just have a conversation. So how about that? How about a conversation instead of me just talking the whole time? I was driving down the road on Sunday. It was like right after church or something. I can't remember. And we were at this kind of a busy intersection at the Loop, the South Loop, and one of the busier streets called Quaker here. And that's where a lot of people sell, those intersections are the kind of places where a lot of people sell newspapers. And I've learned over the years that some of them are homeless people. And they live at Tent City, or they live at Paul's Project, or they live, different places, and then that's their job for the week. And I had seen this guy the week before, and then I saw him again this week. And it was a guy who was selling newspapers and dancing. And just like dancing up and down the street, and like waving his papers in the air. And I would like tell the boys, look at that guy, he's dancing. And they're like, we don't care. I mean, I guess they see that every day. I don't know. They thought I was crazy for thinking it was so cool. But it's boys, I guess. But on the other corner was a guy sitting there with his newspapers in his lap, half asleep. And guess who had the bigger stack? The guy sitting there in the chair with his newspapers on his lap, half asleep. And so after a couple of slower months for me, I still had some good PV, but not what I'm used to. I wondered, how in my business am I sitting there with a stack of totes on my lap versus am I dancing with totes in hand? Whether it's in my Facebook parties or, oh, that was my phone, my Facebook parties or my parties or my VIP page. Where's the chat? Y'all, I need, oh yeah. Yeah. Okay. So, oh, that's such a great, do you want to tell this story or no, iPhone? It just has you as iPhone, Becca. Oh yeah, time for more coffee. So when Becca and Kelly Kaufman and I were in New York City for the 31 Gives event, we walked out of Macy's, and like this was one of the most memorable moments of the whole trip for me. I don't know, it was just like magical, but we walked out of Macy's and there was this man, the Salvation Army guy, and he was dressed in what was he in? Like the suit, basically, that looks like military, but it's not. It's the Salvation Army suit, I guess. But most guys, I guess, put a jacket over or something. I had never noticed it before, but he looked so powerful and just like had such a presence about him. And he was dancing, and he was not just kind of dancing. Like he was dancing really well, right? And the music was up, and it was fun, and people were stopping to look at him. Becca, this couldn't be a better example. Oh my gosh. We'll have to share the video on our page in a little bit, just to give people like a visual. And I'm so excited that it's y'all leaders on here, because I really just want to brainstorm how maybe people who have been in the business a while and gotten, the new kind of wears off, how we can go from sitting on the corner, so to speak, with totes in hand, waiting for someone to run by and pick one up, versus how we can go from there to dancing with our totes or our bags or our products in our parties, or dancing when we talk about the business opportunity, or dancing when we talk about hosting a party and what that looks like. Just that, trying to get that visual in our minds so that we can then have a discussion about what it looks like to be the guy sitting there versus what it looks like to be the guy dancing, and where do we see our businesses going in one direction or the other. Oh, yes. And you know how to dance, April Green. I've seen you dance, girl, in your business. I don't think I've seen you dance in real life, but we should make that happen at conference or something. Okay. I mean, for me, this is what I asked myself when I was coming around the corner, kind of. I was like, if I had to buy a paper right now, who would I buy from? Who would I buy? I'd want to support the guy that's dancing. Right. Also, there is a part of me that would have bought from the guy taking a nap, because I always want to like cheer people. I'm like, come on, buddy, you can do it. Like, see that guy over there? You should try that. But people are going to be drawn to the guy that's dancing, just like they were outside of Macy's. I mean, Becca, we'd walked by how many Salvation Army people ringing their bell and didn't even notice. Or, we put in $1 because that's what my mom always did. But it was like I had a connection to this guy dancing. Like I was tempted to dance with him, and I kind of wish I had now. Did I? I know I thought about it. Anyways, yeah, and there was no wine involved either. Like he was just that contagious, and that like you just wanted to be a part of what he was doing. And after a couple of slow months for me, I've been thinking back about like what has changed. And I think that sometimes even when I'm like pretending like I'm dancing in my business, it's not as authentic as it has been in the past. And so it's not that compelling. Like people don't want to jump in as much because I'm like fake dancing or whatever. So I just wanted to kind of pitch that out there. Yeah, I know. Give me a few drinks and I am a lot more fun too, April. I've been praying about that. I'm like, God, can you I need you to throw me another bone besides red wine here, because it really does activate fun Shay. Or at least chill out Shay. And y'all know this, all four of you, I'm pretty sure. Okay, so anyways, what are you thinking? Anybody want to pitch in here other than in the comments about what it looks like to go from sitting there with totes in hand to, and everybody starts disappearing. Sitting there with totes in hand to standing up and dancing with them. What does that look like? Anybody? Nobody?
Okay, I'll talk. Okay, so I think it comes down to what you were saying. It's about authenticity. Because I've noticed, like, in the past 2 months, my lowest sales in years, that I'm just throwing stuff up because I need to get something done. And I don't really care about selling bags right now
Yeah.
because I have so much other stuff going on. And so, like, it was feeling forced and it was feeling like almost kind of desperate for sales. And so I think it's about finding that thing that's authentic and it makes you happy, like your passion product, but so, I don't know, something else, and just kind of starting over.
I agree.
I don't know.
I agree.
That's my thought.
100% agree. Thank you. Yes. Anybody else? By the way, I love your background, Becca. That looks good.
I had to go live last night and it's a hot mess. And I was like, what can I cover that up with?
It's cute. You did it. Yeah, I think one big one for me, and if anybody else wants to chime in, please do. Don't wait for me to shut up because it might not happen. I think a big one for me is that what we talk about, and I've talked about it for years, but I don't know that I've been doing it that well lately, is expecting success. And there was a time where I did that really well because I was having success. But when I'm not feeling successful, it's hard to show up expecting success. As a matter of fact, yesterday was a really rough day. And at the end of the day, someone at my home party canceled, which I was like ready to go all in. I'd studied all about home parties because I haven't done one in so long. And I'm like, she sent me her VIP list and I was ready to send them, invitations to her VIPs. And like, I'm doing things that I haven't done in a very, very, very long time. And she rescheduled. And I was like, oh, you've got to be kidding me. So I was a little burned last night. And then I started the Zoom this morning and no one got on for like 3 whole minutes. But those are 3 really long minutes. And so I'm like, nothing I do is working. I quit, and like, I'm sorry. I was like, why am I even trying? Oh my gosh. And there's just like temptation in me, I guess as a woman, I don't know, maybe it's just me, but I'm like, everything I do sucks. And I don't know. I just go from this like expecting success to expecting the worst, just like that. And so I've just been kind of trying to give myself an evaluation, like a self-eval. Where am I showing up expecting success? And I think after a lot of failed home parties and then a lot of failed Facebook parties, it's really, really, really hard to show up expecting success. So I'm trying to think about how to get back to that place of doing that, of being able to show up authentically expecting that there will be success in this party. And for me, that has been a lot of the changing the definition.
Sorry, that was me.
Cool.
I was like trying to hook up my computer. I'm so sorry.
No, you're fine. Echo. For me, it was about changing the definition of success. So, I had a happy hour party. It's totally fine, Becca. I had a happy hour party last week and a half ago. And only the hostess and her sister showed up. And the sister placed an order. And I didn't realize till the end of the party how much the hostess just needed some time to get away, some time to be a girl, some time to talk about bags. And let me just tell you, I didn't have the best heart about that when I left there. Like I used to be like, oh, thank you, Lord, for using me in her life so I could encourage her. I left and I was like, are you kidding me? Like, I have no other parties. And I spent these hours, away from my family and everything. And I just have really had to change my heart about what success looks like, because I remember that my business was built on parties, just like parties where I was willing to show up and expect success to be, whether it was just loving on people or selling bags or both. And so success for me, I didn't realize it though, last week was just meeting with her, being authentic with her, sharing what I love about 31. She said that she wanted to sign up. And so then I was like, oh, cool. That's why that party happened. And she changed her mind later. And, that was hard too. I'm not going to lie. I was like, are you kidding me? But here's the thing. Life is happening to people all around us. And like, she's just overwhelmed. She's a teacher. She's having to do STAR testing coming up. And I think that was really heavy on her heart, and some other stuff that we talked about that was very personal at her party. And so I had to remember that for me, part of my success is just being able to love on people one person at a time, no matter what that looks like. And God pays the bills. So that for me was success. So I've had to kind of go back to what is my definition of success, and am I reaching that? Yes, but I had to redefine it. So that was a big part of it. But just from a practical side, I think that it's cool because a lot of you on here do this already. But some of the things that make you go from, you know, the guy sitting on the street corner with the newspaper sitting in his lap half asleep, to the guy on the other side of the street dancing with papers in hand, passing them out to cars, actually selling stuff. Y'all are doing things like you're doing cute videos. You're doing selfies. You're doing selfies with product in hand. You're doing lives from your office. You're letting your kids run in and out, grandkids, whoever it is, run in and out, make an appearance. I've laughed because 2 of you have had kids that had to poop while you were on while you've gone live. Listen, we're not selling newspapers on the street corner, by God's grace, right? Like, thank goodness. But what makes us real and engaging and fun and attractive to a world that is full of inauthenticity, fakeness, whatever, is, you know, a woman just trying to work her business from her home. And if her kid has to poop, he has to poop. I mean, that's everyday life. And that's just as attractive as if you're dancing on a street corner in this world. I promise you, women love that. I got a text this morning from a lady that sat next to me last night at a basketball meeting. I might cry because I didn't even want to go in. Becca knows this. And she said, you know what, Shay, thank you for being a true friend, because I can be so real with you and you never judge me. That's it. I was like, I don't know. I didn't even think twice about what you said. I was just like, yeah, girl, I hear you. That's it. And I realized, like, that is what women want. That is what they're drawn to. So you don't necessarily have to be dancing. You can be being real. You can just be being yourself. And people will be drawn to that. They're going to be coming from all sorts of jobs and situations where they haven't been able to be themselves. They haven't been able to be in a business where they could just be who they are. And 31 offers that. So cute videos, selfies, lives where you're not worried about everything being perfect. Making things personal, like showing pictures of your own product. I think this is all kind of under the dancing category. That Hyperlapse app that I shared with you guys, I have really loved that. It's almost like you're doing a live video with no sound, which I really appreciate because I feel like talking head during those, and like you fast forward it. So it feels like you did a live, but you fast forwarded it. So all that downtime in between the ums and all that is gone. If you haven't seen the Hyperlapse video, check it out, because it's also nice because you can just delete it and start over. And it takes what feels like forever to demo a product. Like a 5-minute video is usually about 55 seconds. So if you haven't seen that, check it out. And it's free right now. And usually those apps are free at the beginning. And then once people really catch on and love it, they start charging. So you might want to download it now. Yeah, so people pay attention to personal stuff. So be thinking about that. Where can you go from sitting on the street corner to dancing in your business? But then I wanted to mention this too, because I think I'm not alone, but I have gotten burned out in this business several times over 9 years. And I'm not going to lie, and I'm not going to hide it. And so, like, getting up and expecting success, well, I get tired of myself saying that. One more day is sometimes just exhausting. And so I've been asking myself, how do I get from the frustration, the defeated place where I am to the hopeful, expectant place where I want to be? Because that's the place where I'm dancing, and that's the place where people are drawn to me. And it goes back to my why. And like, here's the thing, like Home Office talks about this. They haven't talked about it in a while that I can remember, but they talk about this all the time, but it goes back to your why of like, why did you even join? Why did you even sign up? And when I went back to that, started thinking about it, I sort of saw this like train, myself in this train, and there's products and there's parties on the train and all that, and that's what moves the train. but or fuels the train, I should say. But what moves the train down the tracks is my why. What makes me jump in the train and keep driving it is the fact that I want to be available to my family. And sometimes I forget how free and flexible I am with this job. I do. And I lose the gratitude that I love that brings the dancing out in me. Gratitude brings dancing and joy out in me. And I just began thinking about too, not just the flexibility and the freedom, but all the perks. Becca said it well yesterday when I was asking her about, some of the gripey posts and stuff like that. She was like, my husband works his tail off, 12 to 14 hours a day. And he doesn't ever get 2 free towels, like he doesn't ever get a bonus of 100 wishes rewards. He's just expected to do his job, and paycheck is his paycheck. And there's no perks, and there's no atta girl, atta boy, whatever. And I was like, that's such a good point. It's such a good point. And anybody that's been in education or worked for the government or whatever it is knows and will tell you, like, when I lose gratitude, I'm in a really bad place. It's an ugly place, because this is a job that people would kill to have, love to have. And so I noticed that about myself, and had to remind myself of the flexibility and the freedom I have, because that's what makes me want to get back on the train and keep driving it. Now, what fuels it is parties, and it is products. And we all love that, right? I mean, even today, I've seen those products behind Becca 1,000 times, but I'm looking at her and I'm like, that's so pretty. I don't know why, Becca, but your picture is like the big one on my screen. So that's why I'm sort of picking on you. You're just like, boom. Do you want me to make someone else bigger now? Because now I'm sure you're like freaking out. I don't know how to do that. Sorry. Oh, spotlight video. Oh, there we go. Okay. Hi, Ashley. Now I can see your new little piece you got over there. That's cool. Is it working for you? All those lives you're doing, all those parties you're on. I know, trust me, I totally get it. Anyway, okay, so your strong why. Is anybody willing to share a little bit about their why? Like why you do this? I mean, only one of you can speak at a time. So if y'all would just give each other a turn.
I'll share.
Okay.
Mine is kind of the same as yours. Flexibility with 3 kids. And my husband started his own company last March, and more so than ever, I'm having to be super flexible, and having the freedom of not having to go to work and having a boss and somebody tell me I have to be here from 7:15 to 3:30, 3:45 every day. And just continue. My why is just, I need to keep doing this to continue to have that flexibility for him so that he can get his company off and going. And of course, my kids love that I'm around. Friday, I'm going on a field trip with Griffin, kindergarten field trip. Yeah, that's my why. And of course, we need the money in order to supplement, because anybody that's owned their own business knows that my husband does not want to take a full paycheck because he doesn't want to take away from his new company. So for a year now, we haven't gotten a full paycheck, which is it's great fun. So yeah, so my why is just, I need to be able to be flexible for my family and be around, and of course still make the income to help support our family and my crazy kids in their sports.
Cool. I love it. Yeah.
And of course that was not my why when I started, but it has turned into my why after leadership.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Because my why when I started was just a discount, and I can sell to my friends, and I can have some girl time and be away from the chaos at home and have my husband watch my kids while I go to work. So that's why I joined, because I thought, it would be fun to have girls' night out all the time.
Yeah. When's the last time you had girls' night out?
I turned my Majestic ticket down last week because I need to be flexible for my family. So I was like, sorry, girls, can't go. Somebody see if you can sell my ticket, because I can't do it. Can't go. So haven't had girls' night out in a while.
Yeah. It's hard. It's exhausting. I've sat at a table twice in the past 10 days where I was the youngest there, and it was a pretty important meeting Monday night, and I had to leave to go to see Ty throw discus at the zone track meet. And I was like, sorry, ladies, I gotta go. And they're all like, oh, someday you're gonna miss this. You are. And I felt like such a jerk, but I turned around and I was like, listen, I believe that, but I'm also going to write myself a letter that I can read 10 years from now that says, you're gonna look back and you're gonna think, I should have done more. I should have been more available. I should have, been okay with their nasty rooms. I should have been nicer and cooked more mac and cheese and not worried about it and had long conversations at the table. And so I'm writing myself a letter saying, you did the best you can. Like, you need to remember Chez Polite 10 years from now, that you were surviving and you were doing all the mac and cheese cooking you possibly could. And you were taking advantage of every 30-second conversation that your teenage boys were willing to have with you. You didn't obsess about cleanliness, but it was a priority. Because I know that 10 years from now, I'm going to look back and be like, you should have. And I'm going to need a letter that says, you did the best you stinking could. You loved it. You soaked it up. You kept your priorities. You know what I'm saying? So anyways, I don't know. That was a side note, but I told those ladies that and they were like, oh, that's a really good idea. I said, okay, thank you. I'm sorry to push back, but y'all, like, oh my gosh, if one more person tells me to just enjoy it, I'm like, I can't. I'm too tired to enjoy it.
Yeah, I get that too. You're going to miss this. You're going to miss all that running around when they're gone. And I'm like, really? I am?
I'm sure we will, but I just want to have like a healthy memory of how it was hard.
That's a great idea. I might have to write myself a letter.
Yeah. Maybe I'll write mine and share it with you. You can just pencil in your name.
Off and sign my name.
Yeah. And you know what? It spoke too. It spoke because I shared it at the basketball game last night too, to two mamas on either side of me who were worn the heck out. And I told them about that letter. And they were like, yes, do that. And then pass it on, because we're all just worn out. And I realized like that is the connection that brings people together. And so I think that's something that I've kind of tricked myself into when I'm doing Facebook parties and stuff, is that I need to like show up and have it all together, because I've been doing this 9 years. Like, why? I shouldn't be stumbling over stuff. I shouldn't be. And even though I act like when I'm live, I'm like, oh, it's fine if you don't know the names. And I beat myself up when I'm done. It's when I'm not coming from a healthy place, then I'm not dancing. I'm like a robot. I don't know. I'm faking it. I don't know. I'm just working on all that. So if y'all have insight into what that looks like, I would love to hear your thoughts. Anybody want to pitch in anything? April said she's struggling to find her why. So you're trying to figure that out. I realize that's what helps me want to book parties instead of just booking parties because I know I should. When I remember all the beautiful blessings of this business, and it's taken like a lot of steps back, not just one step back, not just one list of the things I'm thankful for, but really like changing my mentality, shifting my perspective, whatever you want to call it. I'm like, I love the party. I really do. At the end of the day, even though when I get there, anxiety kicks in, I don't want to get out of the car. At the end of the day, like Becca said last night about that meeting, I'm always glad I did it. Always glad I did it. There's always a silver lining. There's always a reason to be just thankful. Oh, Erin, to be honest, Erin says this in the chat, I don't miss the crazy running around, but I'm grateful to be able to look back and say I was there and I did not miss anything with my children. And just knowing in my heart, they appreciated it. And when speaking with their friends, they never got asked, where are your parents? Why didn't they come to me with you? Thank you, Erin. Love you. Yeah. And yeah, it's flying by too. So I'm super grateful for a business that lets me make that decision myself and not have to ask someone else for permission, even though I beat myself up about it. So that's such a good reminder. Okay, anybody still have a strong why, or can kind of see where I'm going with this, that like if you're just not in the mood to get in the train and drive it anymore and let parties and products be your fuel, like I'll never get over the products. Like I don't think I'll ever get burned out by the products. I'm like, I still let like stepping stones. I'm like, yes, I've wanted that pretty gray and white for so many, you know, that never gets old to me. The hard part, I think, is when you don't feel successful, it's hard to keep on showing up, keep getting in the driver's seat and going. So with the last, what do we have, 15 minutes or so, 10 minutes, how can we brainstorm sort of leveraging the excitement we do have and the products that we do love and maybe party models that we are willing to give a try and jump back in and move the train. What does that look like? Hey, Danielle, I'm glad you jumped on. Are y'all like, this is why we're watching, we want you to tell us, or do you have thoughts? Okay, I will say this, the last 10 days of March, I did a lot of things that I used to do but had stopped doing. And that was reaching out to people individually through text messages. And 9 out of 10 ignored me, which is statistically apparently like what happens. But the several that did not ignore me had a really positive response. They were like, thank you, Shay. Yes, I forgot. This one lady's like, I needed this. Okay, this lady canceled her party on me too. I reached out to her 2 other times. She didn't respond. But for whatever reason, on the night of March 31st, when I was waiting on the payment from one lady who would have earned me those wishes rewards, I was like, it had been an hour and a half since, you know, I got her order together, and she was like so happy about it. Loved the llama, loved the green on the orange, like all this cute stuff. Like she was responding so happily. And I was like, man, these are the best customers. And then I sent her total and she never responded to me. And she's my hostess in the month club, like never got back to me, still hasn't responded to my texts or emails. This was March 31st that night. So as I'm waiting for her to send me like, how do you want to pay for this order that we just spent 30 minutes working on? I'm like, okay, I can't just sit here all night. So I started messaging people, and then I messaged this other lady who is the one who had canceled her home party, hadn't got back to me the last 2 times. And she was like, actually, Shay, yes, I keep meaning to do this and I just haven't stopped to do it, but I need 4 of the rectangles, 2 with a soccer ball, 2 with a baseball. And I promptly went and made them for her, and I sent her 2 with a football and 2 with a baseball. She was like, actually, no, I said soccer ball. And I was like, I'm sorry, it's late and I'm tired. And this other lady hasn't got back to me. Just kidding. I just said, oh, my bad. Sorry, I've got football in the brain. And so I sent her the right ones. And she was like, yep, that's what I need. I was like, oh, okay, you qualify for these specials. Nope, don't need the specials. Just those 4 cubes. Well, y'all, do the math. That's $140 in PV that I got just because on a whim, I was like, I'm not going to sit here and have a pity party for myself that this lady's not getting back to me and I'm going to miss my wishes rewards. I'm just going to keep going. I'm going to keep reaching out. I'm going to do what I would do if I was confident and expecting success. So sometimes, I heard this in a sermon a long time ago, sometimes you have to do the thing that you know is the right thing to do before your feelings get behind it. And that is so true in my business. Sometimes I have to do the thing that I would do if I was confident and expecting success before I feel like doing it. So I do it, and then everything else kind of gets in line behind it. And then a couple of the ladies that had ignored me messaged me, of course, on April 1st and said, I'm so sorry I missed your message, you know, whatever. And so we're having conversations. And what I remembered is people love a personal shopper. People love a personal shopper. So, and they feel really special, actually, the ones that respond to me, that I have offered to help them with graduation gifts. Thinking about who do you know that has a kid that's not just a senior, like a sophomore, a junior, or their kid graduated last year, or it's a grandparent that's still really involved in the school district, or a teacher who has a lot of high school students that she's close to. Anybody, and this is just one tiny example, but anybody that is shopping for grad gifts needs ideas for grad gifts because they get so expensive. And for March, it was a great time to buy a couple of the hanging travel cases and get 2 for $15 or whatever it was, $17.50, and really get those savings there. So that was a way that I reached out. And I think I shared some of these messages and stuff on the team page, but I just realized how much people love to have a personal shopper. And I forgot that just because they don't want a party or they schedule a party and cancel it doesn't mean they don't want to order. And sometimes I kind of let them go because I'm so afraid I'm being pushy or whatever. And I can't remember what the text message was, but it was one of those sort of faking like I expected them to respond for the first time in 3 months or whatever. Hold on, let me see. I can't remember. I don't know. Anyways, I was just like, hey, just want you to know I'm here and available if you do need to grab any of these March specials, and I'll help you make sure that we save you the most money and get you exactly what you need. Boom, done. And like, y'all, I signed up for this Back 40 grill here that does discounts. It just came through. The today's is queso chicken with side and a drink for $9.99. Yesterday was half price damn good chicken fry. I was like, great. I just sent this to my mom, and she loves a good cuss word every now and then. I'm like, thank you. But I sent it to her like a week ago, and she actually got that text message yesterday while she was at my house. And I was curious to see, because they send a text message almost every day. And I was curious to see if my mom would be like, that's ridiculous. It's too much. She's like, oh, I love chicken fry. Guess who went there and got a damn good chicken fry last night for dinner? She did. Yeah. She didn't care about the cuss word. She didn't care that they send you a text message every day. It just happened to come at the right time. And she and Dad went there and ate dinner last night. So it kind of reminded me too that the emails, the text messages, the VIP posts, be confident and enthusiastic and expect success. It reminded me to do that because you never know when they're going to notice. You never know when you're going to say something finally that makes them go, ooh, I want that. And here's something that I heard that this just fits so well right here to like tie this whole thing up into a little bow. And I love it when God does this because I could not do this. I heard a couple years ago to be dancing when the spotlight hits you. And when it was, whoever said it, I need to Google it so I can give them credit. But what it meant was like when someone finally turns to look at you, when maybe the world finally notices your gift, be dancing. When a hostess finally decides maybe she wants to party with you, you better be dancing. When a customer finally decides they want to place an order with you, you better be dancing. You don't want them to look over finally. You don't want the world to look over, or the potential hostess to look over, or the customer to look over, and you're half asleep with a stack of newspapers in your lap because you haven't sold any in a long time, because you haven't had the desire or the why, your why hasn't been strong, or whatever it is. You want to be dancing when the spotlight hits you. So whatever that looks like in your business, I don't know, we can brainstorm that later, but be dancing when the spotlight hits, which means I'm going to show up to my next party expecting success because I never know, right? It could be like the last 12 where I've had 2 people. But Danielle had one like 3 weeks ago, was it? It was like how many guests and over $1,000 in sales? I don't know if you can talk right now. She's in the X-ray room getting away from patients and doctors. I love it. But she had $1,000 party on a Saturday. And I was like, boom, this is why we have new consultants in our business, because it just reminds me of what's possible. I did that too. I've done that too. It's been a long time, but I've done that too. And I just wonder if it's all about my attitude. I don't know.
You know, Shay, we always talk about, you know, like with our VIP groups and reaching out to people, you know, that we need to be consistent. And I kind of had you know, sometimes I feel like, you know, there's no action in my VIP group. No one's paying attention. You know, why am I doing this? You know, we all have that thought run through our minds several times. And it was really kind of funny because last month it happened to be on my anniversary. You know, things were kind of crazy at work. You know, I'd had a lot of people ask me, you know, hey, it's your anniversary. Why are you even at work? You know, why aren't you husband and you out doing something? And, you know, I kind of joked. I said, you know, it's 33 years. It's not a big milestone. You know, it's not one of the ones where you necessarily take off and make big plans. You know, we're together every day and stuff. But the one that really got me and kind of told me that being consistent is important, and that even if you see no action in your VIP group, people do notice, is I happened to get a text message about 9 o'clock in the morning. I got a text from someone saying, hey, are you okay? I said, yeah, why? And they said, well, we haven't seen you post yet today. There's nothing in your VIP group. And I had to kind of stop and think. And I said, I'm sorry. The first thing that popped in my mind is it was, I'm sorry. I said, I've been so busy. I haven't gotten to putting a post out there. I said, but I will. And so, of course, I then took a few minutes, went and put a post on my VIP group, and then I responded back to them and said, okay, there, I've posted. Are you happy? Just joking around with them. They said, okay, just wanted to check on you because it's not like you. So, even if you think no one's paying attention, even if you think no one's watching, they really are. They really are seeing it. And as depleting as it feels sometimes as to, no one's interacting with me, no one's seeing my posts, no one's, saying anything. I guess it's just one of those of don't give up. People are watching. And like you said, be dancing, be ready to have that spotlight on you, be ready. Because I was taken aback. And the really funny part about all of it is the individual that messaged me was actually a guy.
Oh.
He's a really good friend. His wife is a really good customer of mine and stuff. And
cool.
He's a fellow dart player and stuff. And, he follows along because what he does is he watches the group to see what his wife is commenting on and what she comments she likes and stuff. And then he'll circle back to me and say, okay, she likes this. This is what I'm getting her for her birthday, or this is what I want for Christmas, or this is what, I want to get her for Valentine's because I know it's going to make her happy because I know she's liked it and commented on it.
Genius.
So he does follow it that way. But he interacts too. He'll play in my games and stuff. And, I guess that's the other thing too, is a lot of times when we're doing our VIP groups, we limit it to the girls we know. Who are the girls we want to shop with? It's not just about the girls. My sons are in there. He's in there. I've got, several guys that are in my group, and they interact and comment, as much, if not more sometimes than the girls. Mm-hmm. And often joke about the factor that they're worse than a female with their conversations and stuff they have. They'll get things going in that group. And I'm like, all right, guys, stop. So it's just something to think about. Even if you think that people aren't watching or they're not noticing, they really are. Don't give up and don't quit posting. Continue to be consistent and continue to be yourself and be genuine in there because people do notice.
So true. So true. And I can't say enough about those boards that I post, and not that everybody needs to post the boards, but like I noticed Becca posts meal planning, and the first couple posts recently didn't get a ton of interaction, but this last one got a lot. And I love that. And I think that if she had quit because it didn't get a ton of interaction at first, then she would have missed out on what she's doing. And she's providing, I've been listening to some sales podcasts just so I can learn. I really believe the more you learn, the more you earn. I really believe that. And he was talking about added value, that salespeople need to give added value. And I think that the menu planning and stuff is such an added value. Snarky sayings on those boards that I post, it's added value because it's something that's just makes them chuckle or whatever every day. And I forgot to post one this morning. That's funny. Usually I schedule them ahead of time. But something interesting on those is that like yesterday, I posted one about Peeps, those like marshmallow thingies. And I was like, do you love them or hate them or whatever? Y'all, that brings out passion. It's crazy. And some of the people that commented, I was like, she's still on this page? That happens to me occasionally. And I'm like, wow. I thought she hated me. And I didn't even know she was on here. So it's wild what you're right. Like they are totally watching. And I'm not talking about just watching for 6 months for a catalog season. I'm talking about years. She must have been on my page for 6 years. And that always surprises me. So I love that. It's such a good reminder to be dancing when the spotlight hits you. Doesn't just mean, you have it all together. It's not what it means at all. It means you're just being consistent, available. And even on the days when you don't feel like it, throwing something up there or whatever that looks like for you. But and scheduling them ahead of time is huge for me. My sweet mom the other day, I've been doing scheduling for years. And she was like, honey, you were up early. I was like, what? She was like, you were up early. I saw your post in your team page or something. And I was like, oh, Mom, those are scheduled. And she was like, oh, that's so nice. Your mom does that too. It's so cute. Yeah. I'm like, no, I was sound asleep when that posted actually. So, and then there are some nights where I do wake up at 2 a.m. and I can't sleep. And so I'll schedule stuff. And then they can finally go back to sleep. But your dad does that. Oh, he knew there was no way you were awake. That's hilarious. Oh, I love it. Oh, this has been fun, y'all. I appreciate just the honesty, and then I can be honest with you and let you know where I am and where I'm headed and all that. So if you have more ideas on how to get from sleepy guy on the street corner with a stack of newspapers that aren't selling to happy guy on the other side dancing with newspapers in hand, waving them around, let's keep the conversation going. And please, all of you, feel free to share your ideas that are working. I'm doing a lunch here in Lubbock. I wish that everybody could come. I really do. But I've asked people to bring their favorite product, and if they don't get the memo on that, I'm sure we can just use their purse or whatever. But I want to talk about why we love it. I think we forget to talk about why we love the different products that we use because we're so used to having them all the time. I mean, I'm at my kitchen table. I've got a large utility tote sitting right here. We use them every single day. So that authentically, like talking about why we love it. And then we're going to talk about adding value to our customers' lives and what that looks like. And then a couple other sales tips I have. So if I get any feedback on the idea of going from sitting sleeping to standing dancing, I will pass that on, but you guys do too. You're good, Joan. You can watch the recording too if you want to. So welcome, and I hope you'll have a great day. And please keep me posted on what is working. I want to hear it. For me, in March, what worked was personal shopper. It's personal shopping all month long. But anyways, anybody have any closing thoughts? Hey, Terry, just saw you. Anybody have any closing thoughts?
Okay, I have one. Sorry, you guys all want to hang up.
No, we don't. I could see
but I do. Because yesterday I was thinking about this, and I actually got this idea from you when you were like, focus on specific things each day. So like today I'm finishing up this March Madness thing that Jen had posted about. But then I sat down with my calendar, because you guys know I like to write stuff in pretty colored pens that Ashley told me about so I could erase them when I mess up, because I always do. But I sat down and I was like, okay, so I need a place to focus. Each week I have something to focus on. Like next I'm going to focus on Easter until the 10th. And then Mother's Day and Father's Day. But like having that in front of me, seeing what I need to focus on, I don't have to sit here and go, what should I do today? Like, oh, I have a plan. I'm focusing on Easter. Go find stuff about Easter baskets, or I bought stuff for my kid and I'm going to make them and take pictures. Like, I think having a place to focus is really big when you're in a funk.
That's a great reminder, because I wrote out a plan and then I didn't share it. And I think as a leader, like that's just a basic helpful tool. Share that focus with the team and then they can take it or leave it, but that's such a good reminder instead of sitting there going, oh, what's pretty? Oh, I should do this. Yeah, so good. Joan, the hot ladies, I love it. So I have a t-shirt in the works for our whole downline. Oh yeah. Conference brings out passion in me too. I think it's always the perfect timing for me. Are you saying that you want to share something here on the Zoom, or you want to share t-shirt? Where's Joan? Oh, you're blank. I can't see your face. Oh, share with your team. Yeah, perfect. Go ahead and share. And if you need a t-shirt person, I can hook you up, but that's totally up to you. Anyways, I'm working on one for the whole downline, but that doesn't mean you can't do one too. And I don't require anybody to buy a t-shirt. So it would be totally up to them. So I will be unveiling those soon. I'm pretty excited about them. Dream big, shine bright. So fun. No pineapples. Don't worry, Becca. I'm done faking like I liked that. Done. I saw the pictures and I was like, oh my gosh, I tried so hard. And then I showed up in a black one and everyone was like, because I had my own black one. Anyways, because I don't like turquoise shirts. I do. Jennifer Houston sent me this and I love this color. I was like, oh my gosh, I have earrings to match. So anyways, you like this color too? Me too. Me too with you. Thank you. Okay. I love this part of 31 too, by the way. Thank y'all for jumping on. Love it so much. And Joan, if that didn't answer your question, feel free to message me. I hope it did. All right. Thanks for the feedback, ladies. And if you're in the Lubbock area, come join me for lunch. And I'm going to go try to wake up a 16-year-old and see if I can get him to go to school. We'll see. Sick men. It starts early, let me just tell you. Okay. I love y'all, and I will talk to you soon.